Hello guys! For this video, ang pag-uusapan naman natin is one iterative method of solving linear system, and that is the Jacobi method, no? So, basahin ko lang ito, no? The Jacobi method, or also known as the Gauss-Jacobi method, is one of the most common iterative methods in solving linear system. The other one is the Gauss-Seidel method, which we will discuss in the other video of this playlist, no? In this method, the system or the equation in the system will be transformed in this mathematical expression. Yung xi is equal to 1 over aii times the quantity bi minus summation ng a sub ij, xj, then j is equal to 1 and dapat yung j is not equal to 1 hanggang n, no? So, for non-math majors, non-pure math major, this expression is too complicated to comprehend. However, we will discuss this later, no? Kumbaga, gagawin na lang natin na mas simple yung explanation natin yan later, no? There is an assumption here, dapat yung aij natin ay hindi equal sa 0. So, initial values of x are substituted simultaneously and the process is repeated until a certain accuracy of the value is achieved, no? However, the method is very restrictive because this requires that the coefficient matrix is diagonally dominant. That is, it must satisfy that the absolute value of aii must be greater than the summation of the absolute value ng aij from 1 to n and j is not equal to 1, no? So, ayun na nga, medyo complicated lang yung introduction nito. However, madali lang naman itong Jacobi method, no? So, sige, para mas masusundan natin, let's try to discuss the recommended step-by-step process nito for the Jacobi method. So, yung unang step, dapat i-check nyo muna if the system is diagonally dominant, no? So, pag pinerform natin yung checking, ganito siya. Again, pardon for a very messy introduction, but trust me, it will become easier once na nag-solve na tayo ng problem, no? So, ayan yung process. So, ang importante kasi dito sa Jacobi and might as well in the Gauss-Seidel method, dapat maging diagonally dominant yung ating system, no? So, i-explain ko later kung ano ang meaning ng diagonally dominant. Pero yun na nga, for this type of problems, yun yung emphasis dito, no? So, dapat diagonally dominant sila. Because if the system is not diagonally dominant, you cannot use the Gauss-Seidel nor the Jacobi method, no? In solving the linear system, no? So, sige, no? By intuition, we may establish checking for the linear system greater than 4, no? So, meron lang ako ditong note na very important. If the system is initially not diagonally dominant, try to rearrange the order of the equation. Or if it is impossible to be diagonally dominant, use the other methods in solving linear system. So, ayun na nga siya, no? Very restricted or very limited lang yung application ng Jacobi method. So, dapat maging diagonally dominant lang siya. Otherwise, ayun na siya, no? Otherwise, bumalik ka na lang doon sa Gauss elimination or Gauss-Jordan or the Cramer's rule. So, yung next is i-isolate mo lang yung mga variables natin in equation na na-derive natin. Tingnan nyo na lang yung example, no? So, yung after nun, magseset tayo ng initial value ng x or ng mga variables natin. So, oftentimes, yung ina-assume natin na values ay 0. Again, no, oftentimes 0. Pero syempre, it depends on the problem kung ano ang binigay. Then after nun, isosolve mo na yung values ng x sub 1 to x sub n by substituting the initial values of x simultaneously. Then repetitive process ito. Kasi nga, ang idea dito kay Gauss Jacobi method is paulit-ulit or repetitive, no? So again, no, para mas maintindihan nyo na lang siya, let's try to solve this example, no? So determine the solution of the linear system shown below using the Jacobi method, no? Let x sub 1 and x sub 2 and x sub 3 is equal to 0. So that is the initial value of x and perform 6 iteration, no? So this is now the linear system, no? So now, yun na nga, i-check natin, no? If the system, ito, no, system is diagonally dominant. So ngayon, ang paraan ng pag-check natin dyan dito, no? So 28x1 plus 4x2 minus x3 equals 32. 2x1 plus 17x2 plus 4x3 equals 35 and x1 plus 3x2 plus 10x3 equals 24. So ngayon, ang una kong gagawin is i-consider natin yung diagonal portion ng ating linear system, no? So itong portion na to, yung 28, yung 17, and yung 10. And ang idea, para masabi mo class na diagonally dominant yan, dapat pag kinonsider natin, no, for the equation 1, yung coefficient ng 28, pag in absolute value natin, dapat greater than yan dito sa um, absolute value ng 4 and sa absolute value ng -1. Ayun siya, no? Kasi nga, di ba, ito 28 yung nasa diagonal, tapos yung dalawang coefficient ay 4 and -1. So here, obviously, 28 is greater than 5, kaya okay siya. So yun yung basic idea ng diagonally dominant, no? Dapat yung masasagasaan na main diagonal, pag consider mo yung coefficient niya, pag in absolute value mo yun, is greater than the sum of the absolute value of the remaining terms, no? So, yung next na i-consider natin for the equation 2, so yun naman sa equation pang i-consider natin yung 17. So, kung 17 ba is greater than, here, the absolute value of 2 plus the absolute value of 4. So, obviously, 17 is greater than 6, as you can see. So therefore, for the second equation, it is might as well okay din, no? So ganun, no, yung pag-check ng diagonal dominance, no? And dito, yung equation number 3 natin, so syempre, ang i-consider natin is yung sa 10. So equation 3, the absolute value of 10 is greater than the absolute value of 1 plus the absolute value of 3. And here, pag chinek natin to, 10 is greater than 4. So, okay. So, ibig sabihin, the system is diagonally dominant. Ayan siya, no? So, ganun po yung ibig sabihin ng diagonal dominance. So, again, i-consider nyo muna yung mean diagonal ng equation nyo. Tapos, i-take mo yung absolute value niyan and yung absolute value ng other coefficient. So, kapag yung nasa mean diagonal, pag in absolute value mo is greater than the absolute value ng mga remaining terms. So, yun na nga, by default, it's considered as a diagonally dominant system. Now, may mga instances class na initially hindi sila diagonally dominant, no? Before I proceed to the next step, may mga senaryo na kung saan hindi yun diagonally dominant. So, ang nangyayari dito is pwedeng pagpalitin mo yung arrangement ng equation. Like for example, nakita mo dito sa third equation na mas dominant yung x sub 2. Pwede mong interchange yung x sub 2 or x sub 3. Ganun po yung idea dun, no? So, halimbawa, no, ito naging 23 ito. Ayan, 23 tapos yung dito 24. So pwede mo silang i-interchange, no, para ma-make sure nyo na magkaroon ng diagonal dominance, no. So may mga ganong equations kasi. Initially, hindi sila diagonally dominant. So ang gagawin mo, i-interchange nyo sila. Nakukuha po, no, until ma-reach nyo yung diagonal dominance, no. Now, if there is an instance na kahit anong shifting mo nitong equation or pagpalit-palit, hindi mo talaga siya nagagawang maging diagonally dominant, then maybe i-ditch mo na itong Jacobi method and you will now try to solve using the exact approach, which is the Gauss elimination, the Cramer's rule, or the Gauss-Jordan method, no? By the way, pag yung isa kasing method natin, the Gauss-Seidel, same din naman siya ng requirement. dapat diagonally dominant din siya, no? So, ayun, no? Nevertheless, yun na nga, napatunayan na natin for this example that the system is already diagonally dominant, no? So, now, ang gagawin nyo dito, ide-derive nyo yung tatlong equation natin. So, halimbawa, for equation 1, dapat ma-derive mo na yung x sub 1. So, halimbawa, no, for the equation 1, yun yung equation natin. So, 28x sub 1 plus 4x sub 2 minus x sub 3 equals 32. So, i-isolate ko na yung x sub 1. Kaya 28x sub 1 equals 32 minus 4x sub 2 plus x sub 3 or 20, sorry, no, or x sub 1 is equal to 32 minus 4x sub 2 plus x sub 3 over 28. So, ayan na yung x sub 1 natin, no? So, ganun, no? So, ganun din sa equation 2. Ito na nga yung gagamitin natin siya na equation, no? So, for the equation 2 naman, ang gagawin mo is 17x sub 2 is equal to 35 minus 2x sub 1 minus 4x sub 3 or yung x sub 2 natin is 35 minus 2x sub 1 minus 4x sub 3 over 17. So, ayun na po, no? And finally, yung number 3 natin for the equation 3, so that is 10x sub 3 equals 24 minus x sub 1 minus 3x sub 2. So, here, yung x sub 3 natin is 24 minus x sub 1 minus 3x sub 2 over 10. So, ito na yung magiging working equation natin, no? For the analysis. Equation 1, equation 2, and equation 3, no? So, yung next, gagawa na tayo ng table. So, take note na yung x sub 1 initially is equal to 0. Yung x sub 2 initially is equal to 0. And yung x sub 3 initially is equal to 0 as well, no? So, therefore, gagawa tayo ng table, iteration. So, pag sinabi nating iteration, yun yung pang ilang ulit siya, no? Tapos, take note, meron tayong x sub 1. So, here, yung x sub 1 natin, yung na-derive nga natin na formula, i-copy ko na lang to. So, nasa sa inyo kung gusto nyo pang isulat yung formula, no? Pero kung hindi naman siya kasya, um, siguro hindi ko na isusulat yung formula, no? Ilagay ko na lang dito na x sub 1 tapos x sub 2 tapos x sub 3. So, ayan siya, no? So, ilagay ko na lang muna dyan. Tapos, ilagay natin 0. Tapos, first, second iteration. May sinabi ba sa problem kung ilang iteration gagawin? So, ang sabi ng problem, 6, no? So, therefore, adjust natin to, no? Para magkaroon tayo ng 6 na iteration, no? Lakihan ko lang tuloy ito, no? So, I will just follow the problems, no? Ayan, no? So, here, third iteration, fourth iteration, fifth iteration, and sixth iteration, no? Tapos ito naman, x sub 1, x sub 2, x sub 3. So, yun na nga, ang gagawin natin dito, yung initial value na binigay, parehas 0. So, here, i-consider natin itong formulas natin para hindi tayo nalilito. So, take note, no? Ayan yung formula ng x sub 1. Tapos, ito naman yung formula ng x sub 2. Then, finally, ito naman yung formula ng x sub 3. So, ayun, no? So, dapat tama, no? Yung pagka-derive nyo dito, no? So, ngayon, ang gagawin na natin dito, baguhin ko lang yung kulay for, easy recognition. So, ang unang gagawin natin, magpe-perform na tayo class nung ating first iteration. And ang gagawin nyo lang, dahil may initial value tayo ng x, edi syempre, yung lahat ng 0, yung x1, x2, and x3, isa-substitute nyo lang dito sa ating equation, no? So, halimbawa, i-indicate ko to na first iteration. So, syempre, yun na nga, yung x sub 1 is equal to 32 minus 4, x sub 2 is 0, plus 0, kasi yun yung x sub 3, divided by 28. Yung x sub 2 is equal to 35, then minus 2 times 0, minus 4 times 0, kasi x sub 3 is 0. Again, no, ang gagawin natin dito, dahil initially x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3 is 0, isa-substitute natin yan dito sa lahat ng equations natin. And ito naman, yung x sub 3 is equal to 24 minus 0 minus 3 times 0 over 10. Then after nun, let your calculator do its job for you, no? So for consistency na lang, para hindi masyadong nakakapagod, you can present your answer in 4 decimal places, no? So halimbawa, itong una, ang sagot dito is 1.1429. Of course, expect that there is some sort of rounding of error. Ito namang pangalawa, the answer is 2.0588. Then dito naman, ang sagot dito is 2.4. So, ibig sabihin, yan na ang magiging result class ng first iteration natin. Okay po, no? So, here, isulat natin, no? 1.1429, first iteration, 1429. Yung sumunod naman, 2.0588. And yung sumunod, 2.4. Now, dahil natapos na natin yung first iteration, ito yung result, ang next na gagawin natin is, ito naman ang isa-substitute nyong values for x sub 1, x sub 2, and x sub 3 dito sa equation na to para mahanap mo yung values ng second iteration. So, ganun po siya, no? So, kanina nag-start tayo sa 0. So, this time, let's now perform the second iteration. So, here, tanggalin ko na siya. Again, no, yung basis ng formula natin nandyan sa taas para hindi kayo malito. So, second iteration, this time, yung x sub 1 is equal to 32 minus 4. Pero ang isusulat mo na x sub 2 this time, 2.0588. Then, plus, yung x sub 3, ang isusulat mo, 2.4 over 28. So, ayan siya. Tapos, yung x sub 2, 35 minus 2. Yung isusulat mong x sub 1 is 1.1429. Then, yung isusulat mo, minus 4 na x sub 3 is 2.4. Ayan siya. Then, divided by 17. Tapos, yung x sub 3 is 24 minus yung isusulat mong x sub 1, 1.1429. Then, minus 3, yung isusulat mong x sub 2 is 2.0588. So, divided by 10. So, ayun po siya, no? So, for the second iteration, ang isa-substitute mo sa equation is yung result ng first iteration. So, dito, ang x sub 1, 0.9345. Ito namang pangalawa, 1.3597. And itong pangatlo, ang sagot naman 1.6681. So, ayun na po, no, yung magiging result ng second iteration natin, no. So, isulat ko to 0.9345. Dito naman 1.3597 and ito naman 1.6681. So now, dahil tapos ka na sa second iteration, of course, magpo-proceed ka na class sa third iteration. And this time, ang gagamitin nyo na values ng x sub 1, x sub 2s, and x sub 3 are the result of the second iteration. So ganun lang naman, no, yung magiging sistema natin dito. So halimbawa, ito na, no, isulat ko dito, for x sub 1, that's 32 minus 4 ng 1.3597 plus 1.6681 kasi yun yung result ng x sub 3 divided by 28. So yung x sub 2 naman, that's 35 minus 2 ng x sub 1, 0.9345. Then minus 4 ng 1.6681. Then divided by 17. And yung x sub 3 is 24 minus 0.9345, then minus 3 ng 1.3597, then divided by 10. Then again, let the calculator do its job for you, no? So ito, ang sagot dito is 1.0882. Then ito naman, ang sagot 1.5564. Then ito namang isa, ang sagot 1.8986, no? So, isulat na natin yan, no? Being the result of the third iteration, no? So, 1.0, wait lang ah. I think I made a mistake. Okay, I made a mistake here. Dapat ang sagot dito is 1.0082. Ayan, no? Here, you can now consider that. So, ilagay natin 1.0082, 1.5564 and 1.8986, no? Ayan. So, tapos na tayo for the third iteration, no? So, I do think nagegets nyo na yung point niya, no? It's just that, ano lang talaga, no? Paulit-ulit. So, tapusin ko lang hanggang the fourth and ay hanggang the sixth iteration, no? So, for example, let's proceed to the fourth iteration. So, ito yung data for your reference. So, 32 minus 4, 1.5564 plus 1.8986 divided by 28. Ito namang isa, 35 minus 2, 1.0082 minus 4 ng 1.8986 divided by 17. And yung pangatlo, that's 24 minus 1.0082 minus 3, 1.5564 over 10. No? Then after nun, compute them one by one ulit. So here, ang sagot dito ay 0.9883. Di ba, no? 0.9883. Double check lang. Yeah, okay, correct siya. Dito naman yung sunod, 1.3170, or I made a mistake, I think, no? Okay. Ayun, no, 1.4935. Ayan siya, no? Then, finally, ito namang isa, ang sagot natin dito is 1.8323. Ayan, no? 1.8323. So, dito, ilagay natin siya 0.9883, 1.4935, and 1.8323, no? So, ganun lang naman yung magiging result ng fourth iteration, no? So, last two iteration, let's now proceed to the fifth, no? So here, for the fifth iteration naman, syempre, ang isa-substitute nyo are the result of the fourth iteration, no? So for example, 32 minus 4, 1.4935 plus 1.8323 divided by 28. Dito naman, 35 minus 2 ng 0.9883 minus 4 ng 1.49, minus 4 ng 1.8323, then divided by 17. Ito naman 24 minus 0.9883 minus 3 ng 1.4935 divided by 10. So just compute the following, no? So here, ang sagot natin dito 0.99 excuse me, 0.9949. Check ko lang din kasi minsan nagkakamali yan. Yeah, correct yan, no? So yung sunod naman, 1.5114. Then ito naman, 1.8531, no? So here, isulat ko siya 0.9949. Tapos ito naman 1.5514 and 1.8531, no? So that's the result, no? Then finally, for the last iteration, para matapos na to, no? Kasi require tayo ng problem na 6. Although class, in reality, kailangan mo siyang ipagpatuloy for as long as hindi ka pa kontento sa accuracy, no? Pero syempre, matagal yan kasi kung halimbawa 20 iterations ang gagawin, napakapagod nito, no? Unlike sa, ano, no? I-excel to, no? Pero dalitong i-excel, pero yun na nga, dapat marunong pa rin tayo nung basic concept o yung manual. So finally, dito tayo sa 6 iteration. So, i-substitute natin, no? I mean, titigil lang tayo sa 6 iteration simply because yun lang yung instruction na problem. Mag-perform lang tayo ng 6 na computation. But, if you are going to apply this in whatever application naman, you need to continue using this until you achieve a certain level of accuracy. In other words, kapag hindi na nagbabago-bago yung mga measurements dito. Kasi dito nagko-converge dyan, no? So as you can see, kung titingnan mo tong mga value, papalapit na sila, no, ng papalapit doon sa sagot, no? So ganun siya, no? And habang rumarami yung number of iterations, lumalapit din siya doon sa exact value. Kasi itong iterative method, approximate method lang to, no? Pero sige, for the 6 iteration, so that is 32 minus 4, 1.5514, plus 1.8531 divided by 28. Ito naman, ang sagot dito ay 35 minus 2 ng 0.9949 minus 4 ng 1.8531 divided by 17, and finally 24 minus 0.9949, then minus 3 ng 1.5514, then divided by 10, no? So ayan siya, no. Yan na yung mga isa-substitute natin. So ito, yung una 0.9874, double check ko muna siya, no. Wait lang. I think I made a mistake, as some sort of is mistake, no. Okay. In the last ano pala, hindi pala to 1.5514, no. Dapat 1.5114 to, no. Kaya pala, yun lang yung nakakapagod dito, no. So I need to repeat the process. Wait lang, no. Tiyagaan ko lang to. Hindi ko kasi na ano yung iteration, no. Sorry, no. I have made a mistake. Ayan, no. So, hindi pala 1.5514. Dapat ang nakopy ko is 1.5114. Ayan, no. 1.5114. So, yun na nga, no, ingat dito, no. Anyway, going back here for the 6th iteration. So, same process. Tanggalin ko na muna to. Tapos, yun na nga, yung isa-substitute natin for x sub 1 is 32 minus 4, 1.5114 plus 1.85 na tanggal ko pa to, no? Pero 1.8531 to, no? 8531. So, dito naman, sorry, no? Divided by 28. Dito naman, 35 minus 2, 0.9949 minus 4 ng 1.8531 divided by 17. Ito naman, 24 minus 0.9949 minus 3, 1.8531, then divided by 10. So, ayun siya, no. So, that must be, no, the last part of the computation, no. Sige, computein natin to. Itong una, ang sagot 0.9931. Ayan siya. Ito namang isa, ang sagot 1.5057. 5058 rather. So, 1.5058. Then, ito namang last, 24. Hindi to 1.8531 pala. Kasi x sub 2. Dapat 1.5114. So, dapat ito ang sagot 1.8471. So now, nasulat na natin yan lahat. So therefore, ilagay na natin dyan. So 0.9931, 1.50, 58, and 1.8471. So kung papansinin nyo, yung nangyayari dyan, kapag itinerative natin is, kapag kinontinue natin yung process natin, ito, mas lalo silang lalapit doon sa exact value ng x. Pero kung papansinin mo, starting from the fifth iteration, di ba, no? Halos hindi naman na nagbabago, no? yung value ng x. Kaya kung may mga changes man yan from 7 to let's say 20th iteration, halos hindi na masyadong malaki yung changes nun, no? But anyway, this is the exact illustration, no, of the Jacobi method. Ay, Jacobi. Yes, Jacobi method, no? So, iterative siya, paulit-ulit. And yun lang, ang downside nito, mag-ingat ka dyan sa pag-substitute kasi nga, nakita nyo naman sa ginawa ko, no? Pag nagkamali ka lang ng isang step, domino effect na ang mangyayari. So, always be careful in the computation, no? So, I do hope, no, while this video is lengthy, na-discuss naman ng maayos yung principle behind this one, no? So, ayun, thank you so much for watching and ingat po kayong lahat.